Beginning on how we can cut the through pass to the runner, FIFA 23 counter-attack football is overpowered and through balls are extremely abused. If you can defend through passes in this FIFA series, then you can reduce on the numbers of goals you concede. So that moment when the opponent triggers his player to run forward and he looks for perfect moment to execute the pass, here as the defender you switch to your player immediately and track the runner. But how do we track the runner? The logic is simple, you have to position your defender near the opponent's running player, but at the moment the player is running faster and even faster than your defender, so you have to first create a gap between the running player and your defender. After you hold the speed jockey, L2 plus R2, on PlayStation, or LT plus RT, on Xbox. Then position your defender near the opponent's running player. But importantly you have to know that the running players tend to change their running course to try and create a gap for the pass. So don't stick to one position with your defender, you have to follow the running player. By doing so you vision how the pass will be released at the moment, then you use the push and pull technique we discussed in the last video. This technique you can react quickly to any movement, so the video link is in the description. A lot of players make this mistake when defending through pass. Here at the moment he should run first to create a momentum, then jockey to the runner to close up the gap, but instead he was focusing on the runner on the wing and this costed him a silly goal. So look at the same scenario but how I defended this pass. I first run to create a gap, then I speed jockey near the opponent's player to close the pass gap. Good defenders use their center backs at the best moments to stop the opponent's attack, so let's see how you can also implement this trick into your gameplay, so they use center backs in these scenarios. 1. To cut the pass inside the box. We all build up from the wing and mainly if we don't get the pass to the bar line, we tend to cut back and find any available player inside the box. So here the trick is to close this pass. How? We make sure that we first close the opponent's way to the bar line with our fullback or any available defender. Using the right stick switch you immediately switch to the nearest player in the box and usually center backs. So you run with your defender diagonally towards the open player and position your defender there. A lot of the players will pass and you intercept the pass. Then the next scenario is to cut the passing lane to the opponent's striker. A lot of players like to find their strikers when they are building up, and especially if your opponent attacks oftenly through the middle area. So here you switch to your center back using the right stick switch, and here I recommend you to jockey. If you jockey you can react to the AI movements. They tend to run in behind if you mark them, so you speed jockey and position your player in the passing lane, or near the opponent's player. If your opponent passes then you will get the ball and he will wonder how it happened. Importantly don't use this trick high up the pitch, especially near the center. The third trick, to close up the running player. As I told you, if you mark the opponent's player especially high up the pitch, they tend to run in behind for through pass, so here I created a gap for him to run in behind. But I immediately switched to my other center back and start closing up the runner. The opponent passed and I take the ball. Even here the same mistake, after I mark the AI, immediately his players start running in behind but I switch quickly to my other center back and close up the gap. Again the same scenario but for me this is just a trap. I bait my opponents into making these through passes which I win every time. I intentionally mark his player because I know he will run in behind, so every time I switch immediately to my other defender I close up the runner and I always win the ball. So it's a standard trick but you have to use it when you mastered how to switch to your other center back quickly using the right stick switch. In the last two FIFA series we normally shoot far post, so if you know that then why do you always leave your opponent to shoot there and have a free goal? I even hate that celebration. So every time the opponent gets in behind with his striker against your goalkeeper, move your keeper to the far post. To move your keeper you push the right analog in, then you start moving it and your keeper will move. I know good opponents will read your keeper if you move him and shoot to the opposite, but it's still the same if you don't move him and they shoot far post and score. But a lot of opponents can't read the goalkeeper's movements, so this trick is to punish these players. They just shoot far post without looking at the goalkeeper. So that's it for today, soon part 3 will be out, so for now let me end here.